Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Pause 23, my podcast where we provide a space to breathe, reflect, and return to your truth. I am so glad you're here. Today, we're going to talk about something that touches all of us, and that is vulnerability. You know, that feeling of standing emotionally naked in front of the world, not knowing how you'll be received. It's tender, it's terrifying, but it's also necessary. So take a breath with me. And another. Because as I remind you every day, our power is found in the pauses. So let's start by being real. Vulnerability can feel unsafe. And that's not just in your head, it's in your nervous system. Most of us learned very early on that being too open could lead to pain. Maybe we were dismissed when we cried, or better yet, told, stop crying, I'll give you a reason to cry, or laughed at when we showed excitement, or maybe love was something we had to earn by being quiet, by being good, by being quote unquote perfect. So now as adults, we're still carrying that, and the body remembers. If you haven't checked out my podcast yet on the cells, go back and check that one out, and you'll find out a little bit more about how the body truly does remember. Vulnerability feels risky because it threatens the protective roles we've built to survive. The perfectionist, the people pleaser, the one who always has it together. These identities keep us shielded, but they also keep us disconnected from our true, authentic self, the one longing to be seen and loved just as we are. So, how does one know if we are being afraid of being vulnerable? Sometimes fear of vulnerability isn't obvious. It doesn't always look like shutting down emotionally or refusing to talk about your past. Sometimes it can show up and look like perhaps you are constantly changing the subject when conversations get deep. Do you find yourself apologizing for crying or being quote unquote too sensitive? Do you find yourself saying, I'm fine, when really you're not fine at all? You find yourself over explaining or over performing to avoid judgment? Do you feel the need to control every outcome because uncertainty feels unsafe? These are just a few of some everyday signs that your system might be trying to protect you from the risk of being vulnerable. But here's the truth, my friends. While these habits may have helped you survive, they're not helping you thrive. Let me say that again. They're not helping you thrive. So, what can we do to begin to soften the fear, to embrace vulnerability? Healing and embracing vulnerability doesn't mean forcing yourself to share your deepest wounds on day one. It means gently expanding your window of comfort with being seen. It's taking little steps each day outside of your comfort zone and reminding yourself it's going to be okay. I can do this. It might be scary, but I'm doing it safely. And I'm breaking old patterns. I'm breaking generational patterns. It means offering yourself safety first. Safety first. So your system, your body, mind, your soul, your cells, your nervous system, all of that can feel okay saying, I can be open. I can still be open and be okay. So here are a couple of soft and gentle practices that may help you begin to loosen the grip of the fear of vulnerability. So number one is name what you feel, even if it's messy. Start with yourself. Journaling is a super safe container, a super safe way to begin expressing what you've been taught to hide. Writing or saying things such as, I feel nervous to say this, or I don't know how to ask for help. That's vulnerability. That's courage. Even just practice saying it to yourself in front of a mirror. Practice saying it in your head. Get used to saying these words with yourself, and then practice taking little steps with people you feel safe with. Number two is practice sharing small truths with safe people. So just like I mentioned in number one, you don't have to overshare. You just have to be willing to start showing up. Even saying something such as, I've been having a hard day, is super powerful when you've been so used to hiding. So practice saying that, practice saying it to yourself, and then practice saying it with your safe people. Number three, notice when your shield is coming up. Notice when you're armoring up. Be mindful. Do you shut down when somebody asks, how are you doing? Do you hate that question? Does it just make you want to, turn around and run? Do you make a joke instead of sharing honestly? Next time somebody asks you that question, just pause, take a breath, and get curious, not critical. Getting curious allows us to be open and hear new things, new ways. We don't have to agree with it. We don't even have to understand it. But when we can allow ourselves to be curious and hear it, that's a huge step. That's how you can start to see things a little differently and stop the limiting belief. Stop having these fears that freeze you. So allow yourself to be curious. And number four is remind yourself it is okay to be seen. It's okay to be seen. Even if your voice shakes, even if you're not sure how it will be received. Okay, vulnerability isn't about control. It's about trust. Trusting in yourself first. And as I'm sharing this, it reminds me of when I first started doing my YouTube channel many years ago. And I was nervous. I didn't know what I was doing. I was all over the place. I looked like a fish out of water on the camera. My words were a mess. But I showed up and I did it. And because I started taking those little steps and I let myself be vulnerable, I let myself be imperfect. That was one of the key pivoting points or catalysts that helped me get to where I'm at in my journey today, to embrace vulnerability. And even though I'm doing this podcast right now and I'm talking about vulnerability, and as I'm getting ready to post this podcast, I'm also preparing to do my first ever live Zoom workshop on vulnerability. And I am scared as heck, my friends. Honestly, I am so scared. But guess what? I'm not letting that fear stop me. I'm letting it guide me. So I'm feeling the fear and I'm doing it anyways. And I'm practicing embracing the vulnerability. And here's why. Your most authentic life can't bloom in hiding. Flowers don't bloom in darkness. Okay? The love that you crave and the peace that you long for, that deep fulfillment, it's all inside of us, but all of it lives on the other side of the armor, on the other side of that protective wall, that bubble we put up around us. It's learning to, as the cover of my book says, it's learning to take that step beyond the edge of fear. So vulnerability really is the bridge between your current self and your most free, authentic self. You living the life that feels in alignment with your soul. You living the life that you came here to live. Not that life that society has molded you to be in, not that person that the environment, your family, your friend, your environment has molded you into be, but your true authentic self, that self that's hiding behind the armor. It's the moment you say, I'm tired of pretending. I'm tired of pretending. It's the choice to honor your truth, even when it's raw, even when it's scary, even when it hurts, even when people don't get you. Because as you start to venture down this journey of coming home to your true authentic self, people aren't going to get you, and that's okay. Because maybe the people that you've had on your journey so far, maybe their journey is taking them somewhere else. Okay, and that's okay. Because it's through that bravery that your healing begins. And my friends, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be real. When we embrace vulnerability, we begin to reconnect to our authentic soul, to our essence, not who we were told to be, but like I said earlier, who we are actually meant to be, who we actually are under all that noise. That is where you truly shine. So let this be the beginning. If this episode stirred something in you, I want to know. I want you to know that you are not alone. This is sacred work. It doesn't happen overnight. You can't just snap your fingers and make it happen. It takes time. It takes tenderness. It takes compassion, and it takes lots of grace. So if you are ready to go deeper, I'd love to invite you to check out some of the free resources on my website, paulistwo3.com. And there you will also find the guidebook to my vulnerability workshop, The Strength to Stay Open, the Courage to Be Seen. We'll explore these ideas more fully, and I'll guide you through 5 practical ways to start embracing vulnerability in your own life without shame, without pressure, and without judgment. So if you're interested and you happen to get this before August the 10th, drop me a comment or send me a DM, or send me an email at jen@paulistwo3.com, and I can get you registered for that. I'd love to hold that space with you as you begin walking this path with kindness, strength, and compassion. As always, take these words and make them work for you. And remember this, your power is found in the pauses. The moments we choose presence over perfection, stillness over striving, and truth over fear. You are already enough. You are already healing. And you are always, always worthy of being seen. Until next time, keep pausing, keep showing up, and keep loving on yourself. Much love, my friends.